You're the one who doesn't dream, so why are you always sleeping? I remember when you said you're afraid of what's ahead. What happened to ride or die? I asked and you just start crying. How are you acting so surprised? Haven't you seen it in my eyes? Oh, I'm running, what am I running from? Time's going by, but where's the time going? I tried to give you everything. You took it all and took it for granted. If you're still falling out of love, maybe it's 'cause I'm not enough.
Look at all you've gone.
Today's event, so if you do not have a Giddy wallet, you should get a Giddy wallet. They're pretty easy to go and get set up. And we have some people from Giddy who are here to help. This pretty young lady back here is going to help. So yeah, talk amongst yourself, have a good time. Don't be afraid to, you can sit down here too. Thanks.
beyond infinity and back again. I'm to them. Young dog and I talking. You know what's see me shine. Don't vex when you get married. Me nah make trouble stress my brain. Cut checks me, I cut to the chase. Start never second hand, never second man, never stopping for a second, talking up on the line. You could jump on sound, I go try and make statements. Don't test my patience.
You hurt me so much that I had to leave you. Girl, I thought that you and I would be perfect together, but you hurt me so much that I had to leave you. be perfect together. But you hurt me so much that I had to leave you. Girl, I thought that you and I would be perfect together. But you hurt me so much that I had to leave you.
What's the reason behind the commotion? Why do we have to feel emotions? What's the purpose of all this madness? Why do we struggle so much to control them? Every day is a messing. Sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in because of my emotions. I can't seem to control them. Every day is a mess when sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in my emotions. I can't seem to control them. My emotions. 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 Because of my emotions, I can't seem to control them. Every day is a mess when sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in my emotions. I can't seem to control them. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions. My emotions, my emotions, my emotions, my emotions. I can't seem to control
All right, good afternoon. Welcome out to At Nerd today. I'll give everyone just a second to kind of quiet their conversation so we can get started here. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Robbie Law. I'm going to be a quick host and MC. We're going to get Scott Paul up here as soon as possible. I wanted to go through some quick housekeeping rules, make sure that we can get the most out of our event today. I'll give you a few ideas to do that. First, want to say thank you to Nerd United for putting this together. I know that a lot of you are here with Nerd. In fact, could I just get a raise of hand on this? How many of you are with Nerd? Raise your hands high. Okay, keep those up. So how many of you are not here with Nerd then? Raise your hands. Okay, so it looks like probably about 25% of us are new. So really a little bit later, Cameo is going to come up and tell us a little bit more about Nerd and about what the mission is and some of the projects going on right now. But I have such a privilege to be able to stand up here and introduce Scott Paul. He's what got me really interested in Web3. I watched him on LinkedIn. If you haven't followed Scott on LinkedIn, he had an old profile that LinkedIn shut down because he was just simply too powerful. That's the way I see it. So Scott Paul has a new profile, and if you follow him, he has such keen insight to what's going on in the crypto space, what's going on with AI, and he's got such an innovative mind. So I'm really excited to have him share some things here today. The way the course of this event's going to go is I'll get off stage here in a moment. Scott will come up. He's going to give his 15 to 25 minute share, and after that, Cameo's going to come up and share a few more things, and then we'll have some networking after that. So let's make sure to get the most out of this today. If you're standing in the back, we have mats here on the ground, and I know Scott is going to come up here and he's going to gather his flock like this. He's going to bring everybody in. So if you can come up and want to sit on the mats, if you're in the back, feel free to do so. It's going to be a great seat to be able to listen and really get grounded to listen to Scott Paul. So without further ado, I want to share just a little bit more about Scott and what he does, and then we'll bring him up here. So Scott Paul, if you have followed him on LinkedIn, has had multiple exits from businesses. He's got a fund that he runs. He's great at two things, in my opinion. He's great at delegating, and he's great at gathering people. He puts people in rooms together. He's always springing for a new event to get this type of environment to happen. So he is going to share some amazing things today that will help us if you're in development to innovate even further. If you're whatever role that you have in your business right now or inside your occupation, Scott's going to help you maximize what you do by turning your brain onto new ideas. So let's give Scott a nice warm welcome as he comes up, Mr. Scott Paul. Thank you, brother.
See if I got this on. Perfect. All right. I'm not kidding about coming up here, guys. Just really, like right here. Just come touch the hem of this garment. You'll see what it feels like. And be healed. I'll make a lot of jokes, a lot of references, but I'm really serious because we're going to be giving away some money, and I like to give away money. That's why I got the moniker of Bitcoin Jesus, is I'd walk around on a YouTube channel giving crypto in Malta, in Florida, in New York, LA. I would go out to beaches in this outfit, and people would think I'm batshit crazy until I whip out my crypto wallet, and then they have some, $1,000 of Ethereum they didn't have before, or some random token, some shit token of the day. So sometimes I would give away really crappy stuff. Sometimes I'd give away really good tokens. But that's how this whole thing kind of got invented, was a YouTube channel I did. But I'm going to skip to 2015 to actually talk about what the hell's happening and how I got into this world. And I'm going to relate it to all of you, because in everybody's life they're going to have this moment that I had in November of 2015, I think it was October 2015. And it's when you first hear about something that's just so crazy, but you hear about it from someone who you trust. And so you have a friendship, or it could be a family member, this could be a brother, a friend, and we're in Utah, and so there's a lot of scams going on. And there's a lot of times people will approach you with not the best intent. They heard some stupid MLM, they come to you, and they're going to try to get some money out of you and help their situation. So you got to be wary for those. Those are false prophets. But when you get to, there's going to be a time in everyone's life, and it might have already happened for some of you, but you get approached by a new technology, a new diet or something. Who knows? But it's going to change your life if you listen to that person. And so it was October 2015. I'm in Playa Vista at my best friend's house. He had just sold his company to Snap. And so he was out there doing time in or out. I was at Disney, same thing. And we were both spending 2 years at our respective companies, basically just trying to help integrate what they had just purchased. In his case, it was a company called Scan. He was helping Snapchat put the ghost, those codes into Scan. And in my case, I was helping put influencer marketing into Disney's whole work. They have like 2,000 companies. And so we were just one little one helping them do influencer marketing. At night, we were hella bored. We didn't have any friends out there. We're both from Utah. And so we moved out to what's called Silicon Beach. And we're stuck there. And I would go over to his house at night to just like, what are we doing with our lives? What are we supposed to do next? And he's like, well, Scott, it's about time I tell you about something. I'm going to tell you about this guy, Satoshi Nakamoto. I'm like, yeah, I've heard Bitcoin. He's like, no. It's like, we got 4 hours. Let's go deep. Let's go really deep. And then he proceeds to tell me about when he and his friends found out about it in 2010, when they started mining this Bitcoin. And at this time, mind you, it's 2015, so there was only really Bitcoin. There wasn't 20,000 tokens that were all around on Coin Tracker and stuff like that, or whatever you have now today. So we were really talking about Bitcoin at the time. Ethereum was out there, but it wasn't really, for me at least, being a layperson, I didn't know anything about it. He sits for 4 hours and tells me about Bitcoin, and I have to make a decision at the end. Either my friend, who I trust and has done some pretty exciting things in his life, is batshit crazy, or I should do what he said and probably tattoo the seed phrase onto my butt somewhere and put all of the winnings I just got from Disney and put it into Bitcoin. I didn't put all the winnings I got from Disney, but I put a good chunk of them, and it was when Bitcoin was $200. And so that investment I made in 2015 has more or less covered everything I've done in my life for the last 8 years. And it's been, there's been swings up and down with that type of lifestyle, living on Bitcoin, but it's what I want people to pattern match here is you're gonna meet people, and it could be AI right now. This could be the thing, like maybe, I feel like AI is kind of the thing where you're gonna wanna go meet the expert, but listen to these people, be curious, and then definitely try to look at who you're receiving the message from. Have they done something before? Are they credible? Do they know what they're talking about? And if you find those people, just listen to what they have to say. I'm probably not the most credible. Don't really listen to everything I'm saying. I follow other smarter people. Go find the sources that I've found. But I have addiction to sharing what I find, and I go all over the world sharing it. So I'm just kind of gathering the stuff and trying to share it in the most easy to understand way that's possible. And so I went to ChatGPT-4 yesterday, and let's cue up my slides. And I asked it to make me the BTC attitudes, basically the Sermon on the Mount for Bitcoin. And so we're going to do that. And by the way, I'll be downloading Giddy. If you guys want later, we're going to be doing a pass. Everyone's going to get to experience just throwing money around on the blockchain. What we're going to do is we're going to start with $1,000. We're going to get to one person. They have to pass it to the next person, 980, and it's going to go 960. And so someone could rug pull it and just run out of the building with $940. But we're going to see if this is a trustless group here at Nerd. All right. Every image here was built by Stable Diffusion, and I think their newest model. And I asked a question. I'm going to just read it to you real fast. I'm not even going to mess around. I'll just tell you exactly what it said to me. It says, I really need help with the presentation I'm giving tomorrow. I have to speak about Bitcoin and how it was originated. What I really want is some entertaining ways to talk about Bitcoin like Jesus talked about the Beatitudes during the Sermon on the Mount. And then she's so brilliant. She says, that's a creative approach to presenting. And she gave me 10 Beatitudes, and they were perfect. And so I'm like, I'm just going to go through them real fast. Yeah, hold on. Oh, clicker. Here we go. All right. Let's go to the next one. Blessed are the curious, for they shall discover Bitcoin. It took a little bit of curiosity to find it. Everyone's heard of Bitcoin. Everybody has. But the curious will be the ones that go well, then how do I actually get one of these, or a portion of one of these? Or how do I actually do anything with it? And so you got to be curious to go to the next level. Not just hear about it, but figure out how do I actually put some of it on my phone or on a hardware wallet or on a, and so curiosity is where it's going to start. And this is going to be for everything. This is a lesson not just for Bitcoin, but for all things. The biggest, as a venture investor, the easiest thing for me to say no on a company when I can tell the person leading that company doesn't have curiosity. It's like pass. They're not going to figure stuff out. Curiosity is important. But in this case, what she says is you could mention the pseudonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto and their desire to create a decentralized currency free from government control. So Satoshi was curious enough to figure this out and create something, the white paper in 2009. And if you guys do not know, I'm not going to sit here and talk about Satoshi, but just go read the actual white paper. It's not that long. The whole thing that this company here, that you guys are all doing, working on the blockchain, doing all these different projects, it was not possible if this one person didn't create, or I shouldn't say one person, this one, them, they, whatever, didn't create that white paper. So be curious enough to go read it and see what it's about. It's published everywhere. Blessed are the patient, for they shall witness the rise of Bitcoin. This is the hardest one probably. It's very hard to be patient during these ups and downs of an innovation, cycles of innovation. Right now we have a few good weeks, like last week's been good, but the last few months have been horrible. But in the end, everyone's saying that, like, in the long run, if you live to be 100 years old, this probably Bitcoin ain't going anywhere. It's pretty hard to destroy. There's no way to destroy it. They said yesterday, I listened to an article that it would take like several nation states to gather and to just create enough spin or enough power to crack one block or whatever and create double spin for like 1 hot minute. Like this thing is so decentralized and so buoyed up by these miners, which is actually the next one, that I think it's just going to eventually keep rising. And I've been around in it for 8 years, and my friend's been in it since it was the beginning, and it's just has the tendency to rise. That's what happens when there's a finite amount of something and people want it. So be patient. Blessed are the miners. So it was smart enough. The GPT model was smart enough to say we should probably give some shout out to the miners in this thing. And the miners are. Has anyone mined Bitcoin here? Raise your hand if you've done it. Really high. Good. Not many of you. I did it in 2017. It was pretty gnarly. We had an office. I went and got an office out in West Valley where a ton of power was, and there was an abandoned warehouse, and there was this one room that was kind of like a clean room for these pills they used to make, and it had a lot of power pumped into it. And we put 3 racks in there, and nothing felt more like degenerate and like apocalyptic than turning these machines on in the middle of this massive warehouse. That it was dark. We'd had to go through the dark with flashlights to find the room that the mining was happening. And it's just it's pretty fun to go watch and see how the mining happens and how it's being done all over the world. But these miners are everywhere, and it makes it a pretty invincible network because they're out there sustaining the blockchain for their little reward that they get from mining. Let's go to the next one. Blessed are the secure, for they shall protect their digital wealth. Now this one, I loved what she said here, and she said, discuss the importance of users to protect their private keys and to have secure storage methods and safety of their investment. We've seen a lot of crap go down with the centralized networks, right? These exchanges like FTX and even our banks. Anything that you're not custodying your money is subject to be taken from you. So non-custodial, you want it to have self-custodianship if you can, with at least a good portion of your crypto if you have it. I have some on Coinbase. That is a custodian. They are taking care of it. I trust them enough, but I would not have all of it with them. I have a lot of it on private wallets and places that I have to care about my own encryption, my own passwords, my own keys. Blessed are the innovative, for they shall shape the future of finance. We'll see what she says about this one. Touch on the various innovations that have emerged from the world of Bitcoin, such as smart contracts and decentralized finance, DeFi. Share stories of how the developments are distributed traditional financial systems are empowering individuals worldwide. Well, you've got Giddy here. They're going to go down to South America and try to figure out stuff down there. Travis in the back, raise your hand. Morgan. Talk to them. We're trying to figure out the whole world of DeFi. How do we bring DeFi to to everybody by a user-friendly app that can be used in any country to exchange value. You got to be innovative in the space. So Bitcoin, it's hard to innovate on Bitcoin itself. It didn't really make itself available for smart contracts with a limited space per block. But you got Ethereum now, a distributed computer that anyone can build on top of, which Polygon did and which Giddy did. So be innovative here. You guys are all building on some fork, some chain, something that came out of this crypto world. All right, let's go to the next one. We only have a few more. Blessed are the responsible, for they shall foster sustainable ecosystem. I kind of like this one because it's talking about how to make sure that like the mining and everything is eco-friendly. Like innovation and stuff's going to happen from this mining. We're going to probably actually find new ways to get energy from. Like I've seen inventions where they're mining up north with a dump. There's a dump where the garbage is going, the methane comes out, and it powers a Bitcoin miner. So people are getting pretty inventive and how to like conserve power and find power in cheaper ways. So that's I think sustainability can actually come out of this. Blessed are the educators, for they shall spread the knowledge of digital currencies. Right here you have Spencer. Where's Spencer? Raise your hand. Spencer Montgomery taught my whole company one time, like 3 years ago, 5-hour Bitcoin course, crypto course. Like, it was amazing. We are most of you here are probably on this edge, on the side of being educators, not listeners, and you're supposed to go out, take what you're doing at work, go teach a bunch of people. There are people out there on the streets that just do not understand this. The teenagers, I try to talk to my kids about it, they hear crypto, and their parents or something have told them like, oh, that's a scam. So they've just completely taken the whole world of like the blockchain technologies that are being built by the smartest people in the world right now, and their parents say, avoid that, that's a scam. And that will possibly set that kid back years from learning about a pretty important technology. So don't be those parents, be the educators that like get people into, like dispel those people that are saying crypto is a scam. Like this is the stupidest blanket statement that anybody can make, and we have the job of dispelling that. And the last one is, blessed are the persistent, for they shall overcome regulatory challenges. That was pretty smart of her to make that one. That's our biggest kind of beachhead right now, is we got to get some of our governments to be a little quicker on their regulating this stuff. So we're actually all the companies I've invested in, we're pro-regulation. Let's get in there. Let's get some things defined so we can start building. And that is all I have today. I want questions for the next 5 minutes maybe I have. Do I have like 3 questions I could ask? I gotta make sure there's nothing else. That's it. So my last recommendation is use GPT-4, go sign up, it's $20 a month, just came out last week. If you're not talking to the smartest individual that has ever been born on a daily basis, like for an hour a day, then I'm gonna call you an idiot. You're an idiot. So my kids, they all have their subscriptions. I make them talk to GPT-4. I literally make them. I don't make them go to school. I make them talk to GPT-4. And if it tells them to go to school or not to go to school, they should follow that. Like that's what they should be listening to. So that would be my final thing, and then I want to open some Q&A here. All right, let's go. Who's got a question? Right there. What do you think of I think he was high. I've made bets like that when I smoke dope. It's not a good one to do. Don't do that bet. But it's very bullish. And I think he probably hedged himself enough so that he's already probably experiencing this. He's probably kind of helped this bull run, and he probably had some shorts or something that he's already covered his bet. So I think he's a genius, actually. But I don't know. Every time I bet like that, I lose. Anybody else? Any other fun questions out there? Anything? AMA. I have a lot of wisdom. 2,000 years. Actually, I'm not even going to answer myself. I'm going to just put it into GPT-4. Yeah.
I don't know you very well.
Yeah.
Today. You're into AI, so can you tell me a little bit about how you incorporated your
How I got into AI? I just do the same thing that everybody else does. I try to see if this comes out. I try to. I'm an idiot. Like I don't have a attention span to sit down and do really hard things, and so I surround myself with people who have the attention span to do really hard things, and I watch them and I listen to them. I befriend them. And so I have, my closest friends are people that have been working with the OpenAI for quite a while, right? So they've been building with their APIs for the last 4 years, or 3 years since they released an API, and I just sit and watch what it's doing, and then I try to go share that with other people, and like, here's what, and so one of the easiest thing to do is like what I just said, and then I do, if you guys have time, you should go to, I did a hackathon for 30 hours, yeah. Oh, it's on? Yeah. Where's it on the phone, or? It's getting, we're going through many things to broadcast, so that's what makes it hard. Maybe I'll reconnect. Let's go back on. I would say, so one of the greatest things I've done in the last little while is I went and did a hackathon for 30 days, had a sleepover with 5 guys. Well, actually, a few dropped out, but it felt like the 90s again for me. It was amazing. We all night we started coming up with this thing, and what we did is we took the King James Bible and we took every verse and parsed it, and then created a stable diffusion piece of art for every. So we have a random one right here, Daniel 8:16. You can't believe out of the 8,000 images, like the stuff that comes out, and I'm going to go to one I found this morning. I was at a meeting in Provo, and I went to Numbers 4, and just the interpretation of AI. So it's going to look, some of these are pretty normal, but then we get down to badgers, and shall put thereon the covering of badger skins, and this will cover the cloth. And so I'm like, that's cute. And then the badgers keep doing stuff, and they start growing at each other. And then the badgers are at a bar, and they're serving martinis, and I'm like, what's going on? And I realized we've created some really good art. That the Bible is open source, and it prompts really good, the AI. And so just go spend some time and see all the badgers doing crazy shit. And that's just in Numbers 4. I mean, go to Songs of Solomon, you can go all over. Some of it's not safe for work, so we put a rating so you can pick what setting you want to view the Bible in. Okay, I got to tell you this, guys. Most of our hackathon was building a not safe for work filter, because the amount of child porn that comes out of the Bible is surprisingly, there was about 200 pieces that we had to permaban. So we're recycling them through, but the Bible is crazy stuff, and it produces a lot. I mean, this one's just classic. Look at King, dude. There's a honey badger, and then there's this guy, and you ain't messing with him. All right, so that's the projects. That's what I do to get curious. I just keep trying to find the most interesting people doing the most interesting projects and follow them around. Any other questions? I think we're done, unless there's one more. What's that? Randomseed.com. Random Seed. And so we're doing Harry Potter. Well, we can't do works. We got to do open. What is that? Yeah, public domain stuff. So we're going to go to do Homer and Odyssey, stuff like that stuff, and then we're going to go and do the rest of the Bhagavad Gita and like all these old texts. We can't do we're really scared to do the Quran, because if Muhammad is depicted, we might get, it's just they do not like seeing images of Muhammad, right? And that, you speak Farsi, you know that world. I just know that that's like kind of risky, so we can make badgers, but we can't do a Muhammad. All right, any other stuff? And then I want to be done. And then we're going to do the passive. Oh, yeah? What do you do right now? Are you working here? And so do you have any place where you share what you're learning? Do you do like Twitter or LinkedIn, or do you have anything that goes beyond this group right here? I would honestly just start making content, just start. Christy here learned about, I think a year ago, basically this whole world, and just tears it up now, making a ton of content, getting involved with all the blockchain companies that are doing things, seeing if they need help with their websites, and then she's hyper learned. She knows everything going on in the space in a short year just by kind of expanding your network, and the best way to do that digitally is to try to create a little bit of a voice on LinkedIn or Twitter, and then and then meet other people. And I'd love to help amplify whatever you're doing, whatever you want to do. And stuff like this. I mean, we're doing it right here. So hold more meetups, do it in different, like we're in Lehigh, we're in the tech capital of, I think, the US right now. So we got to get these people, we got to go out. We're basically in Jerusalem, and we got to go like spread around and get crucified and stuff. So, and that's going to happen. People are going to hate you for going out and preaching the good word of Satoshi, I promise. But I got past that. Obviously, I'm not affected by people's thoughts or words. All right, I'm done.
Let's give, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Scott Paul a round of applause.
Love you, man.
Thank you, bro.
You're the
Thank
best.
you. Thank you. Now, he doesn't disappoint, does he? Like, such a unique perspective, great stories. If you think about what it takes to learn from someone, you know, they just need to be a chapter ahead in the book to teach us. And I feel like Scott Paul's a chapter ahead of many books that he can teach us from, including exiting businesses. You know, he mentioned Disney and working there. He's got a keen understanding. So make sure you follow him. Let's give Scott one more nice round of applause for being here today, taking time out of his schedule. Now, Cameo Duran, VP of Product here, you all probably know her. She's been putting this together, and she approached me about coming to host, which I want to say thank you for that, first of all. I tend to be on the outskirts of the community because Web3 is new to me, but I like to put myself in this situation to learn from people like Scott, that you get to learn from the best. And I've learned a lot from Cameo. She spoke at some of my events, and so let's give her a nice round of applause for putting this together and give her some time today.
Okay, I have a small deck. I'm not going to take a lot of time. If you're not a nerd and you're curious about what Nerd does and what we're doing here, we're a couple of things. We're an incubator for blockchain companies. Right now we have 10 companies that are incubating inside of this business. All of these companies operate on an X to earn rewards platform. We also have developed a X to earn blockchain that powers the entire ecosystem. And so those are two of the primary things. One of the brands in our incubator is called Nerd Prime currently. And Nerd Prime has a mission. Oh, I need a clicker. Yahoo! Nerd Prime has a mission. And the mission of Nerd Prime is to elevate the status of nerds. We believe that the future will come about because of people developing breakthrough innovation. And the people who typically develop breakthrough innovation are nerds, technical professionals, creative professionals who work together to figure out how to build new and innovative things. And it is our mission to juice the innovation process and to really reward those builders and elevate their status. You know, it's kind of sad to us that the things that have happened the most in the world are because of nerds, and for a long time, it's better now than it used to be when I was a kid growing up as a nerd. For a long time, nerds were reviled, beaten up, and otherwise picked on. So we have this mission. You can read the mission if for those of you that are too far away. Nerd United is on a quest to unleash the full potential of nerds worldwide, enabling them to reshape the future through groundbreaking innovation and creativity. We unite, empower, and celebrate technical and creative builders, providing a supportive community where they can flourish, drive progress, and claim their rightful place as the architects of a better world. Okay, so if you happen to be a nerd and this is a mission that resonates with you, we don't completely know what that looks like, but we know that the best way to define what it looks like is get very smart people thinking about this, how do we elevate the status of nerds and how do we juice the innovation process. So if you would like to join our community, we will have a blockchain that we will be releasing in a couple of weeks and a node economy that comes with that. But right now what we have is a Twitter, that's the one a Discord on the left. Or you can join Nerd Prime, which is on the right. This is a technology that we've started to build that is a peer-to-peer reward platform. What we're using it for right now is to compile and reward people who are coming up with great ideas for how to build a world-class nerd community. So scan those. Please join us. We are on a mission to change the world by elevating nerds. And then I was going to let Robbie do this, but I have a QR code, so I get to do it. We're doing this again next month. We will do this every month. We are going to be doing a ton more activities like this because, like Scott pointed out, the way to get people involved in blockchain is to make it easy to get people involved in blockchain. So next month we have Trevor Ward. If you don't know who he is, he specializes in accounting and crypto. He calls himself the world's most exotic accountant. So he's going to come and talk to us about Bitcoin and your Bitcoin taxes, and yeah, come and join us. You can scan there to sign up. That's it. Robbie, you want to come and just close us out and say thanks?
Let's give her a round of applause, Cameo. Sounds like Trevor's making accounting really, really cool, like Nerd has done for all of the things that you do. I want to say thank you to each of you who work on the technical side. I'm not technical, and I know that you make our world go round with what you do, so thank you for all the things you do. Thank you for supporting this event, and make sure you get here next month and tell your friends to get here as well. Thank you once again. Stay around so that we can network. You have more? Oh, Giddy. We had a Giddy handout. Okay. Yeah, we're doing the Giddy giveaway, so remember that. So hang out. We'll be here for a little bit longer. Make sure and say hi to somebody new. And thank you once again for being here. Appreciate it.
Take me to a new dimension. Take me to a new dimension.
All right. Actually, let's just do this right now. Whoever wants to be on the Giddy train, just line up, and the first person is going to get $1,000 from Travis. And we're expecting you to pass that on, but you got to have the app downloaded and everything ready to go, so that it's not a ton of holdup. They're ready to go. If you want to rug pull it during the pass, that is your choice. But remember, you'll be the person that ran out for $500 or 30 shekels or whatever. So don't do it. All right, you ready? Yeah. All right, I think I'm going to start with the teenager. Do we trust him? That's a lot of money, $1,000. You're going to pass. You got to pass 980 to the person next to you, and it's going to go. It's going to go this way. All right. Well, you got to have it downloaded. That's not going to work. Go get back in the line. No, you got to be ready to go. We're going fast. But you're all going to get $20 if it works out. And it could go back up or it could go in half. We don't know.
All right, so just a quick note. You're going to need to go to your account on the top right and then click that QR code. It should look like this to say view my address. And then once you have that money, you're going to hold it up. You're going to figure out who the next person is going to go to and send all but $20. Keep that $20 for yourself, but keep spreading the goodness. One thing to know, this is a full EOA wallet, meaning it is externally owned account. It is your key.